Gesundheit.
Danke.
So, okay.
Na, tak so normal.
Okay, ich bin jetzt hier in Österreich, in Wien und habe jemanden besucht, jemand Besonderes, jemanden, den ich im Internet gefunden habe, und zwar die Stimme des Friedens. Und da ich ja sowieso auf Tour bin für meine Reportage über Gesichter des Friedens, dachte ich, der Kleine fotografiert, dass... Er kann noch mit drauf, Stimme des Friedens genannt wird, und das ist der Herr
Habibyar.
Habibyar. Du hast mir gerade gesagt, wie dein Name, woher der eigentlich kommt, Habibyar, was das eigentlich heißt.
Habibyar ist der Name von meinem Großvater und es bedeutet Freund, Habib.
Aha.
Ja, aus Arabisch. Auf Arabisch. Ja, genau.
Gut, dein Deutsch ist nicht ganz so gut, hast du gesagt. Wir sollten also manchmal in Englisch sprechen, in Englisch
ja,
oder bitte.
Für jetzt, ich muss in Englisch sprechen. Mein Deutsch ist ich spreche sehr wenig Deutsch. Oder nicht wenig.
Aber man versteht's, man kann es verstehen, ne?
Jetzt lerne ich Deutsch.
Ja, okay. Since when you're living here in Austria?
Since 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, I live here in Austria.
And why you came to Austria?
Well, I came here as an artist in residence, and it was a 3 months program. And it was finished after my project when I did completed my project here with the residency. And then after that, after facing some problems and security threats in Afghanistan, I chose to stay here in Austria because it was the only safe option for me to live.
Because it's a danger to live in Afghanistan right now, or?
Well, for people like me who always work in community with people, especially on issues like peace, non-violence, and all these things. So it's always problematic from the militants. Like they don't like us, or people like us who stops people from violence and getting them into arts or photography.
It's the same like in Germany. I mean, when you go on the street for peace, it's like they don't like that. It's like
but they're the like, and here must be some people who just don't like it, or maybe they don't, or hate it. But the thing is, the difference between here and there is like they can kill you for this.
Really?
Yeah,
and it's the military.
The militants like the Taliban, the ES people, and all these people who are against all these things, like activities like peace and non-violence, exhibitions, film screenings, and all these things.
So they still got the power there in Afghanistan, because the Talibans, because I heard they are not so much power anymore in Afghanistan.
Yeah, but unfortunately there are some in the region, like there are some countries, or I would say some groups who are supporting these people, and it's not like they are ruling on Afghanistan, but they have several safe havens in places in different parts of Afghanistan, especially in eastern part where I belong from, like Jalalabad and Nangarhar city. There are big threats from ES people, IS, and also Taliban, who don't let people to do all these activities.
And they kill a lot of people there, or?
They already killed so many people in 2017. Like it's growing. Recently they attacked Kabul city, which is the capital. So if the capital is not secure, so how could be other provinces like far? Even we have like a border with Pakistan, so it's very dangerous things. So
what do you think? I mean, my English is not so good either. Yeah, I try to give my best. But what do you think? Why they're doing this? I mean, they are people too. The Talibans. Why are they doing that?
Well, to some information, there are different groups. Like there are groups who are supported by the intelligence agencies of other countries, or those who don't want a stable Afghanistan. Then there are groups who
supported from which other nations? Which nations?
Like there are some safe havens in Pakistan, in Iran, and even inside Afghanistan. There are so many things going around. It's so much political topic which I don't want to discuss a lot, but it is like it made us to live out of our country because it like destroys our own life and all the things, That's why we are living here now. So there are some groups who are like who acts as the really followers, the original or the main followers of the religion Islam, and they are like extremists, and to some extent we are all Muslims and we do the same things as they do, but when it comes to such activities they don't like it and they say, okay, this is against Islam or our culture, our rich culture or something, so then the problem comes here.
Yeah, but I was just talking. We just went on this fest, on this Eid fest, or what was the name from the fest?
Okay, this festival was also a religious plus cultural festival. Like it's Eid. We have two Eids. One is like the small Eid after the Ramadan. The Ramadan, the Ramadan. We fast for 1 month, and then after that we have a 3 days Eid. It's also the same celebration. All over the world, Muslims celebrate this. And then after 2 months and some days, this is the second Eid, which is after the pilgrim, the Hajj, which all over the Muslims from all over the world goes to Mecca, Saudi Arabia, for the worship of God and for the Hajj, to perform Hajj, the pilgrim. And then after that, it's marked as the second Eid, which is, we say like, okay, the biggest Eid, the big Eid.
What does it mean? Eid stands for?
Eid means it's like a happiness or like, I don't know the exact meaning of Eid, but it is like a happiness or celebrate. Yeah.
And there I was talking with just two girls and then a boy from the kids from the director. Was a director, no? And they talking pretty good German. Yeah. And they told me like this older daughter, she's every year in Afghanistan. And they would, because I was asking, do you think, would you mind to stay in Afghanistan or live in Afghanistan again? And they said, yeah, they would like it to live in Afghanistan because they like it there. And they grew up, they were born here in Austria. That's why I'm just wondering, but some people would go back and say, yeah, I like it there. And so other people say, no, it's dangerous. Because you're doing peace work, it's the different?
Yeah, it's like, okay, they born here and they grew up here. So the thing is like, okay, I would say they are young enough and to understand all the situations and everything. And of course, there are some emotional attachments, like from the parents. They always say, okay, we have a beautiful country and we have these kind of memories and that nostalgia and all the things. So so they never left there because you saw them like in a very perfect normal, like in a very beautiful dresses and with open hairs, and she can come to the stage and talking to people, speaking to people. But there will be more difficulties and problems for them if they really want to live in Afghanistan now, for example. Well, it will be in some places like in the capital or in some cities, but it's not stable. The security is not stable.
So they didn't understand what's going on because I was asking, is it not dangerous especially for women because the Talibans, and then you have to cover and everything. And they said no, it's not anymore. It's in the future or in the past. It was there, but it's not anymore because Talibans are not so popular there anymore. So do you think they go there for vacation one year, one time in a year, and they see something and it's nice, and then I think it's always like this.
They're going there for urlaub and for holidays. Yeah. The holidays, it depends. Well, if you live there, if you work there, if you are engaged with the community and the people, it's totally different something.
So your wife is coming, no problem. Come in. Hello.
Okay. Asma, she's my wife. And she was guest on Okay,
hello. My name is Birgit.
Okay. خذت كولا شيء زي ما فرش أنا درمان صار وصل خبرت شوني كي خا.
She cannot speak English, no? Or nothing?
She can speak English.
She can. Maybe she wanna say something either.
I don't think she will allow herself because she don't want to be in camera.
Oh no.
Yeah, she cover her face. Not face, but yeah, she don't
She
know.
won't know.
Yeah,
But it's okay when I was making a movie about the fest. That's okay when I show the people on the fest.
the people who were there, they don't mind, so they came there also.
Because I was looking at their faces.
Yeah,
if
it's
somebody's
okay.
looking like, what is she
Yeah,
doing?
and
You
then
know, then I would say, okay, you
Okay.
mind, no? But everybody was looking like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool. Yeah.
So-
The people who were there, they are used to it and they like it all.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's different. That people see it different when you just
Yeah.
once in a while and they're making vacation. They think it's great, and because they told me, I was asking you when you grow up here in Austria, and if they see something different from the culture.
It's the main thing, right? Or
Yeah, you're right.
Don't know much about.
Genau. And they just said, also this older woman, girl, it's just a different, they like it here, you know, but they always get asked, where are you from? Where are you from, you know? And that's because you can see you're not from here. I mean,
Yeah.
you would never ask like me, where are you from? Because they think, yeah, sure, you from Austria or from Germany.
Yeah.
But there you can see you're not from
Yeah.
here. And then they always get asked, where are you from?
Yeah.
And it's not that bad, but it's like sometimes goes on your nerves, you know, I think, no? And it's because then you can see it's not your culture, no? And but
well, about them, like it's about like what view or what kind of idea you have from your home country or something. When they are living here, so it's just like an overview which their parent give them, or maybe they want their country to show it like, okay, it's a nice haven for us, and this is an emotional.
it's maybe in their head too, and their dream, you know.
And when you go there, of course, everyone will treat you like the relatives, the people there, your friends, family friends. Everyone will treat you like a very honorable guest from somewhere like Austria or the West. So that's why they have good memories from Afghanistan or they have traveled there. So that's the whole thing. But it's totally different when you see from the eagle eye or when you are there on the ground. And then if you are working there, it is totally different. Like straight, like with the community on the grassroots level, in the villages, in the cities, in bazaars, in community with people, it's totally different.
Yeah, what happens to how was it 20 years ago or 30 years ago? Was it same like this, or was in the past, was it some time where was everything okay, or what happens is so? Yeah.
These conflicts and everything are happening since last 40 years, since the Russians invaded Afghanistan. And then after the in 70s, so before 70s, it was totally different from it was a totally different Afghanistan. You can never imagine. It was the same as you or everyone was here in Austria or in any other Western country. The women were going to universities in mini skirts or in long skirts with no covering face or anything. It's not the important point, but still there were science laboratories, there were tourist spots in all over Afghanistan. People from different world, they were coming to visit Afghanistan as tourists.
And the change was how, why?
After when the Russians invaded Afghanistan and they came into power, and there were some parties who did not did their part very well. There were some communist parties and there were some people's party and there were other parties. They fought in their own with each other, and also there came the religious parties who wanted to defend Afghanistan from the Russians or from the non-Muslims who invaded Afghanistan. So the clash became there, and then after some years of clash, and then the Mujahideen, the religious party came into power, and then they fought within themselves for the chair.
So the problem is the different nations came into Afghanistan and made.
And different nations were involved even from the start, before the Russians invaded and after the Russian invaded Afghanistan.
Russian in America too, or
Of course, America. America was they had a big hand behind, even in the war with the Russians also, and after that, and still we are just like under their.
It's always like everybody wants to have the like you said, the chair there and the power there.
Yeah.
Russia, America, and everybody because
of the geographical location of Afghanistan, it's the very very important location in the region. So everyone want to control the world from there. So it's in the Central Asia. So at that time, Russian wanted. After that, Americans wanted to have, and they succeeded because they are there now, and they want whatever they want to do. They made bases and all the things.
So what can they do then? What would you say to Russia or to America? What can they do?
Well, if they really want to help the people or the country of Afghanistan, so they can help us in supporting us, our education system, the infrastructure of Afghanistan, the very basic needs of Afghanistan. It's not only to give us military or bring or send their troops to fight, because there are some groups who are made by these people. Yeah, it's unfortunately the fact. And this is a big problem. Yeah, they can help us in many other ways, so Afghanistan can stand on its own feet and then go further, like in future. But even since last 15 or 16 years, Americans end with the coalition of like 50 or 52 countries in Afghanistan, and they helped Afghanistan in many ways, but it was not like we expected something else, and it happened. Like it is getting worse and worse now.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, the military in Afghanistan, they don't want peace people like you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they have to say, okay, you're for peace, and do you?
No, I'm talking about militants, not the military.
Our militants.
Yeah, they are against our military, and they are against our establishment, and they are against our activities and all these things. So,
but still, everybody should say, I mean, you're for peace, and we want peace in here.
But they say, like, they claim, okay, this is not a very Islamic or religious country. What we supposed to have in Afghanistan, because 99%, 98 something, we are Muslims in Afghanistan. So they want a really Islamic or Islamic Sharia government in Afghanistan. So that's why they fight for it. They have their own ideology, and they want to fight for it and to take the power and to implement this law. We are also Muslim. We say the same thing. We read the same Quran. We pray the same 5 times a day. But still,
5 times a day?
Yeah, and still they claim that, okay, even you are a friend of Americans or non-Muslims or something. So even we are target for them.
So the most people are in Afghanistan are more for America or more for Russia, or it's you can say this. Like
now the people like our elders, fathers and forefathers. They saw Russian people, the world also, and then we saw American, like since 16 years. We are tired of it. No one like it's like we want Afghanistan. We want our own strength. We want to make our own self like okay, like education wise, health wise, infrastructure wise. We want to build our own country. But I hope they leave us like. They help if they really want to help us, so they can help us in many ways. Otherwise, they leave us alone. Like
there are Germans there too, I think, no?
Sorry.
Germans are there too, military.
There are Germans. Yeah, there are Germans. They are working in different fields, like in military also, and also there are some projects run by Germans.
What do people think about the German soldiers?
Well, they are most into this. There is a true like. I forgot the name of this ISAF. ISAF in this NATO, but they are mostly into ISAF, and I think it's a good. People are like very okay with the Germany, with the people of Germany in the country itself, because we have good relations. But in recent time, like since last 1 year, since Afghanistan and Germany had a contract or something on the issue of refugees to send them back to Afghanistan. Like Germany was the first country who wanted to send or deport Afghans, refugees who are not accepted here, back to Afghanistan. So now there is a bit problem. Yeah. So
because the people didn't understand why Germany is doing that. Or...
yeah, of course, because we are all humans and all these things, and why they are not accepting us anymore. Otherwise, there are hundreds and thousands of Afghans living in Germany since very long time, like 40 or 50 or 60 years.
Yeah,
Yes.
but you didn't understand the people are a little bit scared, I mean, especially. How can I say? I mean, understand in Germany, women can do what they want, you know?
Yeah.
We open hair and everything, and it's a different culture, and sure, a lot of people, they are scared, they are afraid to say, our culture is changing now, and women cannot do what they want to do, anything. I mean, they're afraid. Can you understand it a little bit, that we are scared, or...
Well, it's also right. It's your right. I mean, it's everyone's country. But when we are coming to humanism or these things, so when we say about all these things, human rights, we accept like every human, and we are not racist people or something. We welcome everyone. And then it comes like, okay, some people came from very different cultures where they never saw women like this roaming in street or in miniskirts or something. And also some people are not even educated there, so they don't have any idea of anything, and they came here with so many problems and difficulties, and it's like opening their eye in a totally different and new world.
It's a shock for them, or when they come to...
It is a cultural, religious, lifestyle shock. It's every kind of shock for any refugee who is coming, because there are like 99% of Afghan refugees who came here. They never traveled before. They never even traveled in the airplane or something, because they have gone through all these ways by walk from Afghanistan to Iran, and then Turkey, and then Greece, and then all these countries, and then they came here. But yeah, there are, I will not say like, okay, we are angels and we are very nice people, and I expect the same from Germany or Austria or any Western country. But unfortunately, it's reality that some people by doing some negative activities here, they destroyed the image of Afghans or overall the refugees. But the media is playing the biggest role in this thing. Media is covering or exposing all the negative things, like in a very bold and big letters on every newspaper, every electronic and social media. But when there are, and it's like one or two in hundreds. It's not like every Afghan or every Syrian or every other refugee is the same. Many people came here, they integrated here in very less time. They learned the language, they went to schools and colleges and universities, and they are integrating here and they are working here. But it's like they never featured any woman or man or any girl from such communities who did a perfect job here. It's always the negative news who boom and covers the whole thing.
That's what we
And
see
that's very dangerous for us. Like you see me or people like me, and then there are 80, 70, 50 people, but there is only one person who do a negative move, and because everyone, you see me in the station or somewhere, so I have the brown color and black hair, so of course you understand, okay, he's from Afghanistan, and I have to be very careful. Maybe he will
because the most people, they just see what they see in a TV or in a newspaper, and they see a recipe, they bad to women, you know, they're killing women, or Vergewaltigung, jetzt weiß ich gar nicht, wie das Wort, Vergewaltigung, rap, genau, and then they start to get scared, you know, and said, okay, I have to be careful when they're coming, you know, and then, sure, I understand a little bit of it, but I try to see both sides. That's why I was talking to you.
Thing,
you know?
the thing which I really noticed here in the media and also the newspapers and everything, the thing is like there are so many cases. I read in a research that here are many Austrians who raped women, unfortunately, than any refugees or something, but they are not like exposed or something. They never told about this, or if there is something, they just want to bring it under the blanket. you know.
Yeah.
So no one underground, no one knows. But when it's only about refugees, it is bad. It's a negative thing. They have to be like sentenced or they have to be in jail. But we want like equal rights for all. Like if it's not only for Afghans or for refugees, we want the same law for these for Austrians, for Americans, for anyone who is living anywhere. And also the same if it's the thing very important to be scared of, so they have to put all the news is from those people who are from Austria, from Germany, or from anywhere else. Yeah.
Yes, I think that's a different culture because it happens to me too. Last year or 2 years ago, I went on Sylvester. I think it was in Nuremberg on the Sylvester party. It was a big place, in the city, and there went a lot of people, a lot of guys, only guys, refugees, and you're walking there, and then I can see they always try to touch, and it's for us it's like, oh man, I'm scared, but then I thought about it when you go to Egypt. I like to go to Egypt for driving, and the guys sometimes like little. Sorry, when I say like little boys, they see a woman. She's dressing not so much, and they just wow to see, and they just like to touch you a little bit. That's enough. That's enough for them. No?
It depends. Yeah, it's a reality, and it depends on the mindset of people whom you meet. And unfortunately, if you meet such people, it's even if it's a refugee or anyone. Yeah, if someone stares you or if someone wants to touch you, you will be scared of. It's not only like
for us, it's like it's strange.
Yeah. Even if he or she is blonde or
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. This act is negative thing. Like anyone who do this thing, this is a negative thing. And
it's negative, but I think they just like to touch and that's it. And then it's as a woman, wow, touch, and then because like you said, you're coming from a country they never saw a woman. It's not
because like it's like when you have nothing, when you are thirsty, so you need water. When you they never saw people like this, but it's still, I would say, it depends on the mentality of people. Yeah, of course, because many people who never touched any woman there or never saw any woman there, like any kind of, but still they are very fine here. They are doing very well here. They don't even care. Okay, she's a woman or what. But there are some people who already was involved with or saw many women, but still they are acting or having moves like this. Unfortunately, but it depends, on mindset and mentality of people.
I think it takes a while.
It takes time, of course. I meet so many people here, like Afghans from my community. Like we are inviting them to such events. Also, we are organizing like workshops and courses in our own language and also in German. So they get integrated into this society. They get used to these things, like also to the Meinungsfreiheit, the freedom of speech, and also this Gleichberechtigung and all these things, like equal rights, because they never heard about, some people never heard about these things. Like they say, no, I'm the husband or someone is my wife. So it can be equal, never, but it's equal here. You are living here, you have to accept it, and you have to respect every second religion, person, culture, race, anything.
That's important.
It is the main thing, the tolerance. The main thing is tolerance. If you tolerate any kind of people, like anything here, so that's the way you can that's the thing you can make your way of living here.
Yeah, but it's in Germany, they in the TV they say we Germans, we have to change. We have to change. The new people who are coming, they can stay like they are. And we have to change. And that's why a lot of people are mad and say, well, we have to change. We have lived here for a long time, And they said that's like they want split us, the Germans and the new people, and then they're fighting, and it's a problem now, And they couldn't make more for peaceful living together. Like in Russia, I was in Russia a few times, and they told me, like this one guy, they got in some parts in Moscow 50% Muslims. And they said it's no problem. They live together. It's no problem anyway.
But I don't think like the Austrian or German people have to change themselves. But if you want to take care of yourself or something, it's something else. But yeah, of course, it is increasing like this fear or something. But it will take time, of course. It's about the governments and all the things also, because the whole world is involved in those countries. If these people were not interfering in those countries, no one would come here. Only people were coming like 90 years ago, 100 years ago, and 60 years ago. People were coming here just to visit Europe or to study here. They never wanted to stay here. All the people went back. But when the war started there, they came back here. Otherwise, no one. But I would blame the world also, because they are so much interfering in our country also. So the people came here, and this is now a reality which we face here. But the good thing is like, okay, we have to accept each other. Also, we have to take care of ourselves. And if it is like replied with a hate for hate, it will increase this value of hate or like this amount of hate, and it will come to a very bad ending or future. But if you give them like open hand and like, okay, you come and you study here, and we have to tolerate each other.
Yeah, we all have to start doing like stop the wars everywhere, no? And when you stop war and everything is okay in Afghanistan, like you said, here people come maybe and study here, maybe go back then.
Yeah, of course, everyone, even now, if I have a peaceful or even if I have 50% of security or peace in Afghanistan, I would go back to my country. I'm thankful to Austrian or the European countries, but it's not that like, because there are less people who are doing activities or doing things like we do here or there. But I always wanted to stay in my country, and even now, if I have the possibility of good security in peaceful Afghanistan, I would return back to Afghanistan one day.
Okay, and then you painting pictures, or you making arts? Can you show me something, or what do you do?
Yeah, why not? I do photography, and I use it for peace exhibitions to show the main thing is like I'm doing here or anywhere in the world. It's like to remaking the real image of Afghans to the world, because it's destroyed with many things. So I do photography. I make short films sometimes, and also I paint sometimes. But mostly I paint it on my photographs also, but when I draw or paint, it's only for myself. I write sometimes poetry or writing something. My writing and paintings are for my own satisfaction.
Writing, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So my writings and paintings are for my own self-satisfaction, and my photography and films are for the public in the world.
Okay, you're making, and can you show me something? What you get? I think you had magazines or books.
Yeah, magazines. Also, I have some photos. Can I bring them on?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a series of work. This was like from Windows of Peace. It was exhibited one time in Niederösterreich, Lower Austria. And one time here in Vienna also. It is everything you see here is like in it is from like the piece. This is a painting of a war I took in a museum here in Vienna, and then I made it round like everything is connect. I want to see the world from the window of peace, so everything in a peaceful way. So the whole war, it is destroyed, and these are like looking like beautiful colors. And everything is changed from this window. And I have a series of work. Everything is this is also a painting of an Austrian artist. Yeah, but I have different photos from different parts of the world or cities which I visit. This is from Istanbul, Turkey. And yeah, this is one of my own painting. Yeah, it's also okay. There are some like contemporary modern photos and some nature photos, like everything you see in the world. And I wanted to see it in the windows of peace. So it's all the same, and the result of war and everything. Okay, and the another, these are too much, I think. And the other, I have some visuals or some snaps from Vienna when I first came here. This was the view from my old home where I was living with an Austrian family here. Yeah, so this is the view of Vienna city from there. It is 19th district.
Wow, cool.
It is a photo from the Rathaus of Vienna. And this is from a park in Bratislava. This is from Slovakia. This is, I went for one of my exhibitions to Niederösterreich. This is from there. It is the expressions from, this is where I first lived in this place. It's a Schloss Lauden.
And it's all painting? This
is a photograph.
A photograph, yeah.
Yeah,
this looks like painting.
Yeah, it's so artistic, or it's in the water. Okay, and I also have some photos from Afghanistan here also. Okay, it's a photo from Pakistan. It's a very famous mosque in Lahore city of Pakistan. It's the second largest city. It is Badshahi Mosque. It's very famous. Yeah, okay, and
these are the pictures you had in the Peace Museum in Vienna?
No, those were, I will show you in the magazine. Those were the photos that was called Peaceography. And this is...
this is nice.
Yeah, this photo...
From Afghanistan?
Yeah, this is from Afghanistan. This photo recently got prize in a competition in Afghanistan. Yeah.
I understand.
In top 17 among 400 photographs or something.
Oh, great.
Yeah. This describes the situation of Afghanistan. It is a fire. And
that's what you see it.
Yeah.
Like you feel the situation of Afghanistan, fire. Afghanistan fire.
Yeah, this is a man playing rabab. It's the very traditional and famous instrument in Afghanistan. It's like guitar, but it's like, this is rabab. It have 3 strings and then these tuners, and it have very beautiful tone. I will give you a MP3 clip of this one. You can use it in the interview also.
Okay.
In the background or something. I will give you. In this photo I made in 2014 in Afghanistan. This was also on the magazine of Kultur Kontak here in Austria also, but I don't know, they changed it then. But this photo also got nominated for, it was exhibited in another big exhibition of Austrian or international, young international art in Burgenland in Austria. And
is it Burgenland? That's what he said. There is another piece.
Museum. Yeah, in
Burgenland. Okay.
Yeah, and these are the kettles from tea shops of Afghanistan and Pakistan also. Like they use the same small teapots in the shops, so it's like coffee shops, but very traditional and old style. And they are like, it's only like 1 or 2 cups of green tea.
You drinking much green tea?
Green tea, we will make it, right after.
Yeah, I was surprised because mostly I know from Egypt and other nations they drink black coffee. Black coffee with a lot of black tea with a lot of sugar.
In Turkey and Arab countries, in Iran, they always like black tea. But in my country, in our region, we like green tea. But in the center or in northern parts, people like black tea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's like...
Because I know just green tea from China and Japanese.
Yeah, we import it from India, Bangladesh, and Korea, Taiwan, or I forgot.
That's a traditional tea.
Yeah, and it is like all the people, it's not a bad thing, but it's like all the people are addicted to green tea. Yeah, before the meal, after, it's also very healthy because it's burning all the fat and oily things.
Yeah, that's good.
And we drink it like without sugar or something after the meal, but we have something sweets with it extra if someone...
Yeah, the sweet was very sweet. It was in the fest,
Yeah, you saw.
Good,
Yeah, but this is all like, it's mostly in the festivals or special events, we make so much different kind of sweets. Normally we use only one kind of sweet or something in after the meal or at home with the guests. Okay, here are some. This was a story. This work was exhibited here in Vienna, but 4 times, because this was my project, especially for Austria when I was in Afghanistan. I wanted to have some positive like words which are really connected with peace and Afghanistan especially. So I asked my social media friends, Facebook and Twitter, to send me the word, any word near to peace or related to peace. So I got more than 85 words from different parts of the world. Like everyone sent me so many words. And then I selected 40 words, and then in 40 I selected the very closest words with the peace. So I came up with these words, and then I translated them to Pashto in my own mother tongue. And I put it on I wrote it on Pashto. We speak Pashto.
That's the language Pashto.
Ja, das ist meine Muttersprache.
Okay.
Ja.
Kannst du Deutsch sprechen?
Ja, und dann Dari, auch Dari ist die zweite Sprache in Afghanistan.
Wie heißt es?
Dari oder Persisch ist auf Iran.
Ach, ja, ich dachte immer Persisch.
Ja, Persisch. Ich kann Persisch sprechen auch.
Okay.
Auch sprechen. So yeah, okay, there are some words like trust, peace, serenity, and security, smile, tolerance, forgiving, love, and respect, sustainability, which we really need in everything, freedom, and support, compassion, sport, friendship. These are all the words which came from different people to me. And then I went to streets and villages and asked people, okay, do you like peace? For example, they say, yeah, can I take a photo of you? Because there are many people who don't like to be in photograph or in film. So I had to ask everyone, because it's so hard for people, like especially for journalists or photographers, to walk in the streets everywhere and take photographs, because many people will think, okay, who are you? You are a spy or agent or something. What are you working for? So we have to be very careful there. So it was many people rejected. Okay, they didn't want to be in the photo. No women accepted this challenge to be in the camera or in the photo. I just have this one girl, and I have very special message in my whole work, which is discrimination. Women are always discriminated in our society, unfortunately, in some places. Like the basic human or women rights are not okay. So the whole message is only with the one girl, which is a very strong message, holding a very strong message, discrimination. This was exhibited first time in only 10 photos from these were exhibited. It's a very famous park here, Praterstan, and they have then there is a Fluke. They have an artist space. They are organizing exhibitions in collaboration with Kulturkontakt, which is an NGO working for artists and education and so many things since 25 or 20 years. I was invited by them to have an exhibition there, and my photos were printed in a very large billboards on the streets of Pratar. It's a very famous place for drug dealing, and also from there is no good name of good value of Afghans there. In the same place where I did my exhibition, people think okay, every Afghan here or youth or refugees here, they are either drug dealers or doing something or with a negative character. But I want to try to remake this image, at least by these kind of things. And we had an opening there, we had a speech there, and but of course it won't work.
Won't work, no?
No, because of the media. Yeah, of course.
Is it in the internet? Can I find this in the internet?
Yes, I will send you maybe the PDF, or you can search Kultur Kontakt, and then you can see the residency people, and then you will find my name also, or you can search my name. So it will come because they have all their artists detail there.
Okay.
Okay, this was from the pisography exhibition. I exhibited this one time in the Bundeskanzleramt in the Ministry of Culture here, and then one time more in Afghan Wollers in our Kulturverein exhibition. We made it in an event, an exhibition. And 3 or 4 times here. And
so you're kind of famous here already a little bit, or?
In Afghan community, yes, kind of, because I'm representing Afghan youth almost everywhere now. I'm not the only one, but still there are some. But for example, the Austrian government needed like Arbeiterkammer. They needed someone from Afghanistan, so they found me, so I can have an introduction of living to Austria video for them. So you can search on the internet about me, so you will find some information about my activities here in Austria and in Afghanistan, also in YouTube. You can see something. This is a story.
I can find you on YouTube with your name, no?
Yeah, with my name you will
for
find
people.
You will find some videos of my interviews and some activities with school children in Afghanistan, and some films, all these things. So and this thing was published in also this Kultur Kontakt magazine in summer 2016. It was about, I did I went to more than 10 schools in Austria, in different parts of us, in Vienna, in Innsbruck, in Mödling, in Linz, in Graz. I was going to schools, and I was doing workshop with school students with different age. I started with the very first class students till even to the teachers training, like the young teachers. So we talked about the cultures, we talked about the peace, photography, arts, my activities in Afghanistan, and later my life here, the whole story, the change, and the people here really found it interesting. And then Kultur Kontakt featured this activity in their magazine. It's in English and Deutsch also. This is a photo from it. You can read it, or maybe you can bring it in the video.
It's off this magazine, so we can see. Great.
Yeah. So beside all these art activities and things, we do this cultural and Afghan community events and voluntarily helping newcomer Afghan refugees in different things, guiding them to get integrated in the society as soon as possible.
But I just heard somebody said on the festival they start to send more and more refugees or people from Afghanistan back to Afghanistan.
Unfortunately, it's this deportation is started since April, and we are always with some other communities, Austrian and also some international community human rights activists. We are doing protest and demonstration, peaceful demonstration to stop this deportation back to Afghanistan, which is a total inhuman act, because it's war is going on, and there are people came with like almost dying on the way, and to find a safe place, just to live here, like you live, like I live here. So, and they are sending back to them. So we are trying to motivate people here to learn the language, get integrated into the society, to get educated, to go to schools and colleges, so people here from here don't find us so different or
it's important.
So that's the main thing we are doing here voluntarily in Vienna, and beside that I also learn language and going to courses.
And I think it's important. We all should work on it, and we have peace everywhere. But the war have to stop. That's the main thing. Because when you got peace in Afghanistan, in Syria, and in everywhere, everybody can live in their nation. And then when they want. When they stay here, and then they're happy, and then why not?
It starts with everyone's within themselves. And then later in a family, and then community, and city, and country, and then like the word. It's
Peace comes from
yeah,
this,
yeah.
that's what I say always too. Yeah.
When you are when you are not peaceful or inside you have something and then you say okay we are doing for peace or we are doing exhibitions and films and all that things. It will not entertain but it will pass a message of peace but it won't work if you are not.
Yeah, some people talking about peace and they're not really peaceful by themselves. You know, that's true.
They are not tolerant. They are not like. They are sometimes violent and so it comes from within and then out. First apply it on your own self and then your family or your close ones and then the home, family, community, city and your country in the world. It's for the same advice is for the governments, for the officials, for the United Nations also like everyone is somehow involved in all these wars or something. So they have to come with an idea where no people like die anymore. So we have to make more peace project and maybe work together with all the people, you know, with people from Afghanistan, people from Russia, you know. Now like there will be no like it will be only 1% which is equal to no people like war or any kind of conflict in Afghanistan or any part of the world anymore because we lost more than 4 million people since last 30 years. So it's 4 million? 3 million in 2 million or 1.5 million paralyzed and special disabled people we have hundreds and thousands of widows who never want to marry again or something. They are living in a very poor environment and situation. We have hundreds and thousands of orphan people without any shelter or anything. So it's all because of this bloody war. They have to stop. You know. We all have to work for that. You know, we will work for it until it comes. How it start, it will stop also. Humans started it and humans can stop it. A mentality, thought, something like a human thought, something started it and they can stop it also. But it needs honesty in governments and people to people, United Nations, everyone have to play their own part on their own levels. We are like common people, we are working on the ground level. They are working on the governmental levels and United Nations is working with all the people. So everyone have to play their part. It's possible. So on the end you can say something maybe what do you think about what is peace for you or what you say something to Germany in German maybe. You can talk a little bit German. Ja, ich kann schon Deutsch sprechen auch, aber es ist ein bisschen schwierig, weil jetzt ich lerne Deutsch. Ich habe nur A1 gemacht hier aber ich versuche viel. Woher kannst du eigentlich Deutsch? Wo hast du Deutsch gelernt? Ich habe in einem Deutschkurs gelernt beim AMS und OIF ist österreichischer Integrationsfonds und jetzt ich lerne A2. Es ist der zweite Kurs? Ja, zweite Kurs. Und ich spreche immer in Englisch, so keine Chance. Aber dein Deutsch ist gar nicht so schlecht. Nein, ist sehr interessant. Für mich ist es sehr interessant und zuerst es war ein bisschen schwierig. Ja, es ist schwierige Sprache, aber nicht so schwierig. Ich kann sprechen, auch reden und lesen und schreiben ist auch sehr. Es ist einfach, weil ich kann Englisch. Ich kenne Englisch. So und jetzt ich bin sehr motiviert. Ja, super. So und ich bin ein schnelles Lerner.
Aha.
Und so, ich kann das. Vielleicht nächstes Mal.
Können wir in Deutsch machen, das ist mir, mein Englisch ist auch nicht so gut. Ja, aber für einen Kurs Deutsch ist das schon sehr gutes Deutsch, also wirklich.
Well, danke für das, aber viele Leute hier sind seit vielen Jahren oder 3 oder 4 Jahren hier, aber sie können nicht sehr gut sprechen. Und ich sehe immer ich sage mir selbst so, ich muss perfekt und gut und nicht nur die Straßensprache lernen, aber sehr gut. Nach A2 oder B1 dann mache ich Ausbildung vielleicht im Integrationsmanagement oder Integrationscoaching. So ich helfe oder arbeite mit Flüchtlingen und Migrants und weil ich kann verschiedene Sprachen sprechen. Pashto ist meine Muttersprache und dann ich spreche Dari und Persisch, ich spreche Urdu und Hindi aus Indien und Pakistan auch. Ich verstehe oder ein bisschen Arabisch und Englisch auch. Jetzt lerne Deutsch so viele. Ja.
Das ist doch gut.
Ja, es ist gut. Es ist auch manchmal ist es immer für mich ist es sehr schwierig zum okay Englisch, Deutsch und dann Pashto. Ich mixe immer.
Das geht mir manchmal auch so, wenn ich mal Englisch mit jemandem reden muss, mal Deutsch, und dann kommt man durcheinander irgendwann.
Und jetzt vergesse ich Englisch ein bisschen. Oder ich habe den Dialekt auf Englisch in Deutsch.
Lernt man Englisch in Afghanistan, oder?
Ich habe schon in der Schule und auch in Spezialkurs auf Englisch. Und dann ich habe in Englisch Universität studiert. So, in Englisch. So.
Ach, du hast ja studiert. Was hast du studiert?
Ich habe Informationstechnologie.
Informationstechnologie.
Computer Science. In 2004 wann ich war in der Schule und ich mag und liebe Computer Science und das Informationstechnologie. Dann nach der Universität, ich mag das nicht und ich war bei meinem Business, ich weiß nicht, was ist Business?
Businessgeschäft, oder?
Ja, und ich war in mein unsere Business und auch ich habe viele Sozialarbeiten gemacht, freiwillig. Immer. Und auch Aktivitäten.
Okay.
Und Kunst. Immer.
Das ist so deine Zukunft, wäre das dann eigentlich so Kunst, irgendwas zu machen?
Ja, am Ende Künstler. Ja.
Okay, dann machen wir mal Schluss. Es ist auch schon spät. Wir kommen ja eigentlich vom Fest. Wir waren auf dem Fest. Ja. Und noch. Ich bin
sehr müde auch. Ich
bin jetzt auch müde.
Viel reden und dann.
Ja, du hast gar einiges erzählt. Ja, ich meine, ihr habt Gedichte vorgetragen. Waren es Poesie und Gedichte? Es sind immer wieder Männer vor und haben irgendwas vorgetragen. Und ich habe es ja nicht verstanden, eure Sprache. Das waren Poesie und Gedichte, hat der Direktor gesagt.
In der Mitte.
In der Mitte, ja.
In der Mitte, it was a poetry session. Poetry, like everyone was coming and saying poetry. Like some people wrote their own poetry, and some people like read from someone else. And it was like about Afghanistan, about love, about people, about the country, and all these things. So, and people were appreciating them. Yeah, it's like in every event we make such things for the energizing of people and entertaining people.
So okay.
And people like it so much. In Afghanistan, we have so many.
Everybody was laughing. I didn't understand.
We are having hundreds of poets in Afghanistan. Well, they are less famous, but nowadays, like every second person is a poet. Even I wrote so much poetry, but I will never publish it.
Why?
It's just for myself, and as I told you, I paint and write for my own self, and
so
make photos and film for people.
Maybe later you make a book for this poetry and
I don't
pictures
think-
and
well, my
painting.
father had books and my grandfather also had books. They were also doing poetry, writing poetry, but my brothers also do poetry. But I don't think I will have a book. I have no plan.
Okay. Okay, then I thank you for the interview, and you want to just say something to Germany goodbye or
Ja, vielen Dank Deutschland für alles. Ja, wir sind sehr glücklich und wir sind hoffentlich oder hoffentlich. Yeah, we hope for a good future of Germany and Afghanistan and the people who are living in Germany, all the Afghans. I hope we also get integrated and to know much each other very well and to live a very peaceful life here and everywhere in the world.
and
Vielen Dank.
we peace worker can work together, peace people.
Immer. Always we will continue our work till end. We are playing our part, and after even if we go from this world, at least we will make someone else convinced to work for this, and it will be possible one day if I'm witnessing it or not. But one day we will have peace in the whole world.
Yeah.
We say Inshallah. It
Yeah.
means if God willing, or if you all will. So
Yeah, I hope, yeah. Well, when everybody's working on it and we want peace, yeah, I hope. Okay, thank you a lot.
vielen Dank.
Bitteschön.
Ja,
Bye.
danke.
Wie heißt du?
Wie heißt Salman?
Ich heiße Arman. Wie heißt du?
Wie heißt Salman?
Wiener, ich heiße Arman.
Wie heißt Salman?
Ja, noch einmal. Wie heißt du?
Wie heißt Salman?
Was wird das sein? Okay, ich heiße Arman. Ich.
Wie heißt Salman?
Oh. Noch einmal. Wie heißt du?
Wie heißt Salman?
Oh,
Okay, gut.